Okay, let's finally get down to writing a major scale. In this case, we're going to write a D major scale, and on this stave up here, we are going to write a D major scale with the key signature, and down here, I'm going to show you how to write a D major scale without a key signature. And I think I have enough space to do ascending and descending. So we'll say the first question is write a D major scale with a key signature, ascending and descending. So the first thing we need to do is figure out the key signature of D major. And because you listened to me and you memorized your key signatures, we know that D major has two sharps: Father, Charles, F sharp, and C sharp. Okay, that's step one. Now step two is to write the tonic note. Okay, I can write the tonic here, there's a D here, or I can write a D here. Now if I write a D here, when I ascend, I'm going to be up in outer space using ledger lines, and it's going to be very difficult for the examiner to read my music. It's better to start here so that we end up on the stave and go back down. If we start too high and we frustrate the examiner, they will become angry with us, and they will feel more compelled to give us bad marks. So we don't want to do that. So let's start by writing the tonic of a D major scale, which is D, down here. Now step two is to write up in stepwise motion. So there's D, up a step, up, 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 to the next tonic, which is D. And now, because the question asked us to go descending, we will come back down. That was all stepwise motion, space line, etc. And this is the right answer. That is a D major scale with a key signature. Now sometimes the questions might ask you to label the scale degrees, like the tonic and the subdominant and the dominant. So let's do that just for fun, because clearly I have nowhere to go and this is fun for me. So let's find the tonics. D is the tonic, we'll just write T for short. There's another tonic, and there's a tonic over here. Now let's find the subdominant. The subdominant is scale degree 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. G is the subdominant of a D major scale. There's a G over here, that's also the subdominant. Now we'll find the dominant, scale degree 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this case, A is the dominant of a D major scale. I wonder why I'm writing the letter A. My fault. A is the dominant of a D major scale. Write D for dominant. And the last one we learned is the leading tone, that's scale degree 7. Semitone underneath the tonic. There it is there. You can write LT for short. LT. So there's a D major scale with a key signature, and we labeled all the scale degrees. Now immediately below it, let's write a D major scale without a key signature. We'll do the exact same thing. We'll do ascending and descending. Now the important thing to remember when you're doing these is to leave enough space in between the notes to actually fit your accidentals in the scale itself. Okay, if you write your notes too close together, you won't have room to put sharps and flats, and again, it will be hard for the examiner to read. They will be upset, pull out their hair, and give you a gigantic 0 on your exam, and you don't want that. So, let's leave adequate space. So instead of a key signature, we're going to put these sharps right into the scale itself. So in this case, step 1 is to just write the tonic. So we'll put a D here, and I'm going to do my best to leave space in between the notes, even though I don't have a lot of room. So now we're going to go up in stepwise motion to the next tonic and back down. So D, up a step, up a step. There's the next tonic, now go all the way down. stepwise motion, and there. Okay, so it's not a D major scale yet. We have to insert the accidentals. So remember, D major has a sharp, or two sharps, Father Charles, F sharp and C sharp. Now we have to literally write those accidentals into the scale. Let's do that now. Let's start with the F sharp. Let's find all the Fs and make them sharp. There's one F sharp, and there's an F sharp. There's an F over here, we'll make that sharp. And now let's find all the C's and make them sharp. There's the C's up there, that's the leading tone, and there. Now, normally when you read music, in one bar of music, once you put an accidental, that would mean that this F is already a sharp. When you're writing scales on an exam in a whole step, or in whole notes, that's not always clear. So it's safer to put sharps on both sides, put all your accidentals on both sides of the scale. It's easier for your examiner to read. It helps them understand that you know what you're doing. So even though, technically speaking, if this is one bar of music, although that's a crazy bar, if that would be one bar of music, this F sharp would also apply on this side. Just put them on both sides, just to be safe. It makes it easier for everybody to read and it's more clear. So there we have it. That is a D major scale with a key signature, and this is a D major scale without a key signature, ascending and descending. And if the question just said ascending, you could just stop here, and that would have been fine, just to go up. So, now I'm going to show you how major scales are related to their natural minor scales. So, every major scale has a relative minor, and every minor scale has a relative major. And in order to find out what the relative minor is of a major scale, you go 3 semitones down, or if you're starting with the major scale, you go 3 semitones up from the tonic. So, let's first write out an F major scale, then let's find out what its relative minor is. So step 1 to writing an F major scale is to find out the key signature. I know because I memorized that it is B flat. Next step is to write the tonic, and then we're going to go all the way up to the tonic, the next tonic. F and F, that's a tonic, and that's a tonic. F is the tonic, F is another tonic. Okay, so that's our F major scale ascending. Now let's figure out what the relative minor of this scale is. In order to do that, we take a look at the tonic on the keyboard and go tonic, 1, 2, 3 semitones down. And whatever note we land on, that's going to be the tonic of the scale's relative minor. So let's do that now. Here's an F, 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 1, 2, 3. 3 semitones down from F is a D. So F and D minor share the same key signature, F major scale and D minor. So now let's write a D minor natural scale. So they have the same key signature, 1 flat. Step 1 is to write the tonic. Here's a D. Now we're going to go all the way up to the next tonic. There. And in this scale, D is the tonic, and D is the tonic. And this is a natural minor scale since it has the subtonic here. And not a leading tone. So there's an F major scale, and its relative minor is D minor. They both have 1 flat, and you know they have the same key signature because they are related by a difference of 3 semitones. Now let's look at the 3 types of minor scales and compare them on the board so we can easily see the difference between the 3. So remember, there's a natural minor scale, a harmonic minor scale, and a melodic minor scale. Let's start with a natural minor scale. Let's choose the key of G minor. Okay, so let's write a G minor natural scale ascending and descending. First thing we need to do is figure out what the key signature is. How do we figure out the key signature? We have to find the relative major. We have to go 3 semitones up on the piano, G, 1, 2, 3, and whatever note we land on, we will steal that key's key signature, that note's key signature. So let's do that now. Here's a G, G, 1, 2, 3. We land on a B flat. Therefore, B flat major and G minor have the same key signature. So, because you memorized your key signatures, you know that B flat major has 2 flats, battle, ends. Let's do that now. Let's do this in the bass clef. So, battle ends, let's write in our key signature. Battle ends. Next step is to write the tonic note. The tonic note of a G minor natural scale is G. We'll write all the way up to a G, and then all the way back down. Upwards towards the next tonic, and then back down. To G. So, G is the tonic. There's another tonic up there, and there's a tonic down here. Let's label the subdominant and the dominant. In the G minor natural scale, C is the subdominant, D is the dominant, C is the subdominant, and D is the dominant on this side is the same thing. Now, in every other scale we've learned in this lesson, the 7th note of the scale is the leading tone. Now, it's not the case in natural minor scales, because in this case, this F is not a semitone below the tonic. So in this case, this thing is called the subtonic. So natural minor scales do not have leading tones, they have subtonics, which exists a whole step underneath the tonic note. It's the only scale in which this happens. That we're going to learn today. So, that is a G minor natural scale ascending and descending. Key signature is 2 flats. Now let's take that scale and make it a harmonic minor scale. So the steps to making a harmonic minor scale are first to write the natural scale first. So we have to do this all over again. So I'll write a G minor natural scale starting on G, which is the tonic, and up all the way to the tonic an octave above, and then back down. So right now, this thing that I just wrote is a G minor natural scale. In order to make it a harmonic minor scale, I need to raise the 7th by 1 semitone on both sides, ascending and descending. So in this case, the 7th note is F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is F. This note is F. It's not been changed in the key signature, it's just F natural. To raise an F natural, I need to add a sharp. And I'm going to do that on both sides. So this goes from F to F sharp, and this goes from F to F sharp. Now, unlike the natural minor, this actually is the leading tone. The last one we have to learn, which is usually the hardest, is a melodic minor scale. So, a melodic minor scale is difficult because the notes are different on each side of the scale. That's also why you will never be asked on an exam to write a melodic minor scale ascending only. It doesn't happen. In order to prove to the examiner that you know what you're doing, you have to write it going up and going down. So let's do that one more time. The first step is to start with the natural minor, so we'll write a G natural minor scale, just like we did up here, and then again there. Tonic is G. We write all the way up to a G, which is the tonic, and now we have to write all the way down, again for sure. Okay, so to write a natural minor To write a melodic minor scale, you have to raise scale degree 6 and 7th on the way up and lower them back to normal on the way down. So again, right now as this stands, this is a G natural minor scale. It uses the key signature of B flat major. It's fine the way it is. Now to alter it and make it a melodic scale, we need to first locate scale degree 6 and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This is scale degree 6, and that's scale degree 7. And on the way back down, this is scale degree 7, and this is scale degree 6. So these are the notes we are going to change. On our way up, we need to raise these notes by 1 semitone. Right now, this is an E flat. In order to raise an E flat, we need to put a natural sign, not a sharp. That would be raising it twice. So we'll put an E natural here. There it is. Scale degree 7 right now as it stands is an F. To raise an F by 1 semitone, we put an F sharp just like we did in the harmonic minor scale. And there's an F sharp. So that's half our job. Now coming down, when descending, these notes have to go back to normal. Okay? So this is F sharp. This has to be the normal F again. So we will put a natural, so our examiner knows that this is no longer F sharp, and now this has to go back to normal. Originally this was an E flat, so let's put the flat back in so the examiner knows what we've done. That's a really crazy flat, but I did it. And that is the right answer. This is a G minor melodic scale. So up here, again, G minor natural scale. This is a G minor harmonic scale. This is a G minor melodic scale. This is a G minor natural scale because we used all the keys in the key signature. It's exactly the same note as a B flat major scale starting on the note G. This is a G minor harmonic scale because we added a leading tone on both sides. And this is a G minor melodic scale because we raised 6th and 7th on the way up and we lowered them on the way down. This melodic minor scale is usually the one we use in music. When you're listening to music in a minor key, usually when the melody is going up, you will hear the raised 6th and raised 7th going towards the tonic, and if the melody in the piece of music is going down, you will usually hear these lowered. They're pulling you down to this tonic, and when the melody is going up, these help pull our ears up to the high tonic of the scale. Those are the 3 minor scales.